do is, we had to fire me.
Okay, but that's what I'm asking, if you would give them your, name and address, so we'll have it correctly.
My name's Vanessa Baumgartner, 227 Davis Cemetery Road, Whitfield, Virginia, 24382. First of all, I don't know who else to give this to, I'd like to request that I be informed of all Board of Supervisors meetings. Now, who do I give this to? Do I give it to my supervisor? Do I give it to the county administrator? I want to be notified by phone of every meeting that y'all have.
Well, ma'am, we will publish our meetings, but we cannot answer or give you a request to notify you by phone. That would be fair. We have a lot of citizens that hire somebody to call all of them.
Well, at least put it on the website.
Yeah, I think it's already on the website.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. But you got to understand, the working people cannot check the website 3 and 4 times a day to find out when y'all meet. Now, it's unconstitutional for y'all to sit up here and not let the public know what's going on.
Well, let me tell you this, so you'll know this. We meet twice a month. We meet the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday. The reason we're not meeting on Tuesday, this is a closeout of the fiscal year.
I understand that. I was told that.
Okay. The first Tuesday is a night meeting. It starts at 7 o'clock. The fourth Tuesday is a day meeting. It starts at 9 o'clock.
Okay. By the way, every citizen I talk to in all the districts do not like the morning meetings. Every one of them would like them in the evening. Okay. On that, let me go. And please have the information on the website, not 2 days before. As soon as y'all know what time or day, even if you're having a special meeting, you call a special meeting, you need to let the public know. Everyone I talk to does not listen to Whipple radio station. Anybody here listen to Whipple radio station?
You mean which one? With Danny?
Danny Gordon?
Yeah, we listen to it once in a while. I think they're, you can't help it in some businesses.
Anybody here take the Whipple paper?
No.
Ma'am, you're addressing the board. If you want to address the board,
Okay, I'll get to that. Like I said,
you're on time limit. I know, I'm on a time limit. But I don't know how to go about this. Like I said, this is new. I would like to go on record as saying, I've been in every one of the supervisors' counties, every one of them. I've got one person that's for it. I took the ordinance to them. I did not tell them which way to vote. All I done was show them what was on there, and I did not discriminate. I started on the intersection of one road, go on both sides of the houses. It didn't matter if it's a mansion or what y'all would probably consider a junk pile. No one but one person's name is on here for this. So here's all the signatures that I have collected. In 2 days, one house to house. Who did I give these to? you can pass them up to the time.
Now, I've got 30 seconds. We'd like to know where the money's coming from. Where's the funds coming from for this? Who have you hired? How many have you hired? Y'all haven't let the public know. You talk about an enforcement agent. You haven't set no guidelines. What is he to go by? Can he come on your property with you not being there and just mess around? These are concerns of all the citizens. People I've talked to from the past 2 days want to know why y'all ain't worried more about the unemployment rate. One more thing, guys. I'd just like to go on record thanking all the people for being so nice to me this week. And it's a bad thing when the people, you give them your supervisor's name, email address, and telephone number, and they trust a stranger to bring their vote to you.
Ms. Myers?
Thanks for watching.
Ms. Myers, I have to ask you a question. Are you representing the Witt County Tea Party?
Yes, I am.
Somebody
Okay.
else?
So you will have 5 minutes.
Okay, that's fine, I'm speaking for myself.
initially. I'm sure you've all been reading the Wall Street Journal. Cities and towns nationwide are filing bankruptcy. Recession is very real and it is unrelenting. I have to reassess my finances every week. Wistful government is adding almost $5 million of expenses to the town budget. The Speedwell project is over 8.5. This week we lost 600 local coal jobs. Healthcare costs will soon strangle most of us. Reassessment fees, taxes, with no ceiling in sight. Social Security recipients, or social services report increases in needs of about 27% locally. Unemployment is nationally over 80% that we know about. The food bank yesterday gave out 600, or they serviced 600 people in our area. We're heading into Independence Day, independence and liberty. Choices, not mandates. And debt. It is time to scale back, rethink, and end the obsession with spending. Money doesn't make all things better. Most county residents want independence, not dependence. I'm asking you to once again shelve the Speedwell spur until road or need warranted, and that should be determined by the citizens. Okay, I had left a letter to Governor McDonald about the DREAM Act. I was wondering if you had put that on the agenda, or will it be put on for a different day? Okay, so it will be on the agenda in July then? Okay. As far as, now I'm speaking for the Wood County Tea Party. We'd like to see you and have presented to the public a fiscal plan to reduce debt in the county, since we're talking about carrying a debt of over $60 million. We'd like to see a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, or whatever, as soon as possible. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Next is Rebecca Hale. Ms. Hale, if you wouldn't mind giving the name and address.
Yes, I'm Rebecca Hill, Virginia, 167 St. Peter's Road. I am fit not for a group, but my family, because they're all at work, and they too, like the first speaker said, we were not aware the vote was going to be, because it was just put up on the internet Wednesday, and somebody called us and said, hey, did you know what the board is getting ready to vote on? So I'm here over the property maintenance ordinance of Witt County. I wasn't born in Witt County. I've lived 37 years. I have 3 grown children. Mr. Hopkins was their principal. They all graduated from college, and they married spouses who all graduated, and they're all good taxpayers and citizens, but we don't like this. I'm not as good a speaker as maybe Lonnie or Nathan, and they would love to be here, but they're at work today. I, too, like the first speaker, think that any important thing needs to, A, be voted at night. We need to all see so citizens can show up after hours to address and look at their supervisors and say, we don't like this. If I wanted to live in the town of Whitwell, I would. I purposely choose to pay sometimes as much as $3.80 to drive back and forth. I'm a registered nurse at Witt County. That's a lot of gas money back and forth. Why? Because I like country living. If I wanted to have a homeowners institution or homeowners tax, I would go join one. I don't like the county going behind our back and making all these little rules about it. I don't want it, I don't like it, I don't want you to vote for it, and I'm going to tell you at election, you will feel the citizens' wrath if you do vote for this. That's all I'm going to say.
Jean Hale.
My name is Gene Hale. I live at 7449 Grayson Turnpike. And I'd just like to say that I'm not agree with this, that y'all trying to push on us again. It's just kind of like the water deal. They tried to push that down our throat. And they told me before that I could take mine out any time, but then later on they passed another ordinance that you could. And it just ain't right trying to tell men what to do. They finally get to where they tell me I can't bother you to be a overall. It ain't right trying to tell somebody what to do. If they work for their stuff and try to have something, I think they ought to be able to keep the property like they want to, and that's all I got to say.
David Hensley? Hensley? Full name and address, please.
My name is James David Hensley, 6946 Grayson Turnpike, Speedwell, Virginia. I lived in Eastern Virginia for several years. They got the same thing going there that you're trying to pass here. They exempted the farmers there, the farmers are no longer exempt. Your bill, as far as I'm concerned, I come here in '07, I bought a home, I pay taxes, and y'all want to stand and tell me everything I can do with it. Everything. According to this thing. I have no say-so at all on my property. I just have the right to pay you and your salary, but no say-so, if you vote for it. You know, how much more do you think the American people can take? It's nothing in the world that you don't go with the majority. You're elected by a majority, but you don't go with the majority opinion. I don't know what you go by. I have no idea. I've never been in politics. But, you know, what's the purpose of all of this? To make the county look better, to put money in somebody's pocket? I don't know. But why do you come in with stuff like this and leave it wide open where you can add anything that you want to? Every bill that you wrote, you can add anything in that you want to. In Eastern Virginia, they started out, then they added grass. I had a covered porch. They come in and told me I couldn't have the sheriff in my house out on the porch because it was not allowed in Chesterfield County. So you're passing the same bill that leaves anything open, that you can put anything in there you want to at any time that you want. I can't, you know, why live somewhere if you don't have the right to say anything? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stephen Pocket? Didn't give you that.
Steve Crockett, 26 First Road, I've never been, I'm here for the trash thing, I got a lot of junk, like my junk. I don't think that, y'all should be able to tell a man what he can have and what he can't have. If people come to where I live, they look around, the piece of property is for sale there, they see my place, and they see the place they want to buy, and they buy it, and they go to the house on it, that's their problem. It should be, if they don't want to build beside me, they should go somewhere else, they should be building my junk, or nobody else. And the people can't afford anything else, and the taxes, if you go out and raise the taxes to buy the equipment to do this with, if you have to go and clean somebody's place up, you sold all the equipment that they had to do it with, enough of them, so you'll have to rebuy that back, so that's what makes the property taxes go up. And, then you have to hire somebody to run the truck. And, you've made a big mistake on the recycling centers. The metal that you could sell out of the recycling centers would pay for hauling the trash. That man's making a killing off y'all. Well, not off y'all, off the bus. You should have kept the recycling centers open and y'all running and stuff, the county running, instead of bidding it out to someone else. Just think how much money one of those boxes of metal pays when he takes it down there and he puts it in his pocket. That would pay for an employee, and probably half of the truck. And that's about all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Cox.
Hey, I didn't say cuss word at all, did I? I done it away.
Yes, Tom Gardner?
His name is Stephen Crockett. Stephen
I'm proud of my bed.
Yes, you give your name and address, please.
My name is Ted Bumgarner, and I'm 67 Davidson Road, with Virginia. I'm here to, I don't like this main either. Are y'all gonna vote on it today?
It's on the agenda, yes, sir.
Okay. And the part I didn't like was about the, you're gonna do away with the candlestick. And then like if I had a vehicle that was parked on my property and the tax was off of, you still gonna, the way I read that one, still gonna come around and charge me for having that vehicle like for a candlestick. You know what I'm saying? If it's not on the road and it's sitting on my property, I don't see how you can charge me for a county sticker on something I'm not using and it's on my property. It's like charging me for having that car on my property. I mean, it's not on the road. And I'm part of that, where, all those names. And I don't see how you could really vote on this today because 90% of the people that I talked to didn't even know nothing about it. And I don't know, I just don't see how you can vote when the people don't even know you're voting. And then I did have I actually felt bad when I was taking this around getting, let them read the ordinance. And then let them decide on themselves again for 4. Well, I wanted some with 4 on there. I'm against it, but I wanted some with 4. Because it was a unanimous decision that nobody wanted. And that's bad when you're trying to get somebody that you hope they go for 4.
I did get one, by the way, hon.
Because, well, for one thing, I didn't want y'all to think that I was lopsided on it, And I'm just not much of a speaker, but I did want to come up and had something to say about it. That's it.
Harold Hoffman?
Hankins?
Okay, I'm sorry, Hankins?
He didn't know nothing about it either till I
I
came
live
in.
in Smith County, but I got land in Smith County.
That'd be fine.
Yes, sir. I'm 22, Harold Hankins, 2283 Turkey Trail Road. That's Sugar Grove. I got land down in Blackwood, a year or so ago. And it's got a lot of tars on it. Y'all talking about getting rid of it. Well, my brother lives in Town. He gets to get rid of 4 tars for me a year. It's land people. But, what y'all talking about, I'm gonna have to get rid of them pretty quick. It takes me 7 years to get rid of them. Y'all got another place I could take them tars and not pitch them beside the road, or what should I do with them? Well, I'm thinking that. Because y'all pass this, I'll never get rid of them in time. And my brother gets 4, he can take 4 to the landfill for the rural tree. Every year, 4. And I can't take none in Smith County. So what I do, come beside the road and let the state pick them up, or what? I can't burn them all the time. I'm trying to figure that out. If y'all pass it, what can I do with my car?
We've been having tire collection day for citizens, recycling, transfer station, the county, building grounds department down behind the transfer station. We're planning on having more of them.
Can I bring them living in Smith County, but I don't.
You've got land in Witt County, if they're coming from the land in Witt County, yes, you can bring them.
How about finding out what certain days y'all got them?
We haven't got one scheduled.
They've got one, we've had one already, 2 this year. We've had
What do you
2.
bring them to, up here somewhere?
Transfer station, you know where that is?
Close to the cross interstate, where Progress Park is.
But I was wondering about stuff like that, I bought it with the money.
Inherited.
But
no, things like
stuff you can't get rid of it. Unless I find out the days on that. That's what I'm looking at, like 7.5 hours. But like so many people say, I don't know, you got a vehicle you like, no tax on it, and y'all charging for a county sticker, I can see, y'all taking money back. Well, I'm not wrong, but I'm giving my 2 cents. A lot of it's bad.
Well, let's say the ordinance for the stickers is not on the agenda today, and we haven't even had the public hearing on that.
Y'all don't even have the county really, that's all we were. They just want to wait to sticker. You got to keep sticker on your vehicle so you can go to landfill, the old. But I just thought I'd bring it up about that junk, you know, I didn't know what to do with it.
Can I ask you a question? You say you don't have a county sticker in Tazewell County?
We got a county sticker, but we don't pay for it. We keep, if you got a vehicle, like I got that Ford Ranger, I think once you get rid of it, you got to get another sticker showing you can go to the landfill. If you ain't from Tazewell County, you can't go to work. But no, we don't pay for it.
On your personal property?
I mean the sticker on the truck. What is that?
Yes, yeah, a 1 year, I mean, a farm use vehicle only, I'm sorry.
No, it's for any vehicle. No, they done away with county sticker. But you got to keep the one you had.
You never had to buy one every year?
No, but I just thought I'd bring that up. All these people got a point here, y'all are amazing. I mean, I can see y'all pointing away, one, like I say, they go too far of everybody.
Next is Sherry Dunford. Could you give your name and address?
Sherry Dunford, 406 Dunford Road, Max Meadows, 24366. And I'm a little nervous, but
That's all right.
it's about the maintenance, property maintenance. A lot of people that I've talked to are not for it. I can see where, yes, you all are wanting something for the trash, garbage, but it's so open. We had farm equipment, and just the other week, we had to go out, a piece of farm equipment broke down. We were going to other farmers, other places, to try to find a piece to fix this, because that we couldn't order it. And we also, my family, we're into cars. We have them sitting outside. We go to other places to get pieces to fix these cars because that's our hobby. And it's just, everybody I talk to, they just don't want this. And the 1,000 feet, I noticed where you said to go back 1,000 feet. A lot of people don't have 1,000 feet on the property to go back. They just, now that people can't buy big parcel of land, they just don't have 1,000 feet to do everything bad for the house. There's a lot of people that couldn't make it today because they are farming or working. But everybody that I've talked to, they don't like this.
Ron Kine.
I'd like to pass my time to David, please.
Okay. David? David Manley? David, if you could.
David Manley, 180 Westland Drive, Maxwell.
Are you speaking for a group, David?
I am, two actually. The Wood Plain Chamber of Commerce Tourism Committee and the Wood County Tourism Advisory Board, and for our business too. First of all, I want to speak just a minute about the Tourism Committee and appreciate having our first tourism budget in place. We appreciate the work the board did to help us promote our area and drive economic development here. Gary Cody's been fantastic to work with, incidentally, and Coach Olson done that too. I would let you know a little bit about our progress. We're developing a logo, a website, and protection development. We've undertaken partnerships with not only neighboring jurisdictions, but Virginia Tourism, the Chamber of Tourism, and various other organizations. So we're making progress there, and we appreciate your support there. If there's anything we can do, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to call us. Secondly, I'm here to speak on the property maintenance ordinance, and memberships of both of our committees have wholeheartedly endorsed these two measures. It's not oppressive in any way for someone to take basic care of their property. The ordinance gives enough leeway in any direction on ways to spray your property or move it far enough off the road that it shouldn't be an undue burden for anybody. It's a common sense approach. There are plenty of extensions, exceptions, oversights, and appeals to satisfy anybody's whimsy, I believe. Our county needs it, and speaking as a merchant and as an agricultural enterprise, we take it very seriously what property looks like when people come into the area, because that's what our business depends on. When people make comments coming into our area about what they've driven through, we take it seriously. This is most importantly to me a tool for jobs creation and economic development, because the more people come to the area and locate businesses here, they do take into consideration what the area looks like. Businesses have famously pulled out of our other areas because of experiences they didn't like what they saw when they were coming into the area, or never even entertained locating there. It'll make our property more valuable, and it'll help the economy in general. So, on behalf of those organizations and us, we fully support the property maintenance ordinance. Thank you.
William Tuttle?
You like to play back with that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Thanks very much for your competitive First off, I want to say that I think that all the people in this county are overtaxed, so that a lot of employees in the county can make more money. And half the time they come up with something so ridiculous as to tell me that on my property, what I can do and can't do. I think it is unconstitutional, and it's definitely against independence. Declaration of Independence which is coming up. You're messing with my life, my liberty, and my pursuit of happiness by telling me what I can and can't do on my property that I'm overtaxed on. When y'all get that concept. No? Well, how do you come up with something like that? You want to expect people to keep paying. My forefathers would roll up in the grave if they heard something like this. Probably y'all would too. But you're going to give up that liberty to someone without a fight, without nothing. Just going to tell me, yeah, boy, it's tell me what to do, what I can do, what I can't do. Next thing, it'll be, what color fence am I going to have? Make tourism better. I'm not worried about tourism. I mean, my family's been here for generations. And, you know, how I keep my property is my business. If I don't like the way my neighbor keeps it, I don't need to look over there. Well, I need to move. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, sir. Fran Mosley?
Fran Mosley, 1730 Street, Mountain Road, Woodfield. I'm here about the property maintenance ordinance, which we did not know about until somebody talked to us about it. I was on the committee about, I don't know how long it was, 5 or 6 years ago, when we were doing the zoning. Everybody was with the board of supervisors, Eddie Hagan was on there, and he was adamantly against that. So I see this as a way to zone the county without actually having a zoning ordinance. So you're going to do a property maintenance ordinance. I don't know if anybody's complaining about a couple cars in our yard, and they're actually probably 500 feet from the right of way, and we would have to move them, or sell them, or do something with them, and right now we're not. All of our other cars are in the garage, you can't see those. We have 2 other cars that are not operable, but we have a reason to have them, you know, we're going to sell them, fix them up, do whatever. But I don't think you have the right to tell me what to do with them, so they're not an eyesore, so to speak. I know there are places in this county that are an eyesore, and you go by and think, my gosh, I don't get clean up the trash, but they have to to live with it, I don't. I want to address the man who's for this because he says, businesses should clean up their trash. They shouldn't be messy, you know, when people come into businesses, they want to see a clean place. We own the business. It was not trashy. We did that for 20 years. So, you know, I don't know what he's talking about except for just businesses. But I think there are very few people around here that have trash in their yard and need to clean it up. So I really wish you would not tell us what to do with our property.
That's everyone that has signed up for citizens' time, so I'll announce those. Yes, sir.
2 additional citizens.
Okay.
Started.
Earl Libby. Welcome, Miss Libby. We'll give you name and address, sir.
Good morning. Earl Libby, 881 Carterville Heights Road, Canfield. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to address the property maintenance ordinance. The courts have determined that a county, a city, or a town may implement laws or ordinances for the benefit and health and welfare of the citizens. I'm comfortable with that. The senior courts have also determined if something is ambiguous, that it doesn't stand. So I would suggest you consider my following comments and withdraw this ordinance for rewording. If I may address you to section 3, line 5, that begins, "and any substance." The premise here is an owner of a property that has any substance which will endanger the health of an individual would be cited. I have waggery, I have blueberries, I have maple trees on my property. I would suggest you add something like non-natural substance or man-made substance to clarify the fact that if my neighbor is allergic to my blueberries, they can't put in a complaint and cite me. Something wrong with the wording, any substance. I think you might need to review that. And if I may address you to section 6, the second paragraph, the first line. The owner of a property who gets the notice that they have to clean up may request additional time. What, 2.5 years after getting the notice? 30 days? It's non-specific. I don't think that would stand. And how much time can they request? 2 years from the date of the ordinance? 10 years? Something you may wish to put a little more specificity on this topic. Thank you for the opportunity to address you.
Got anything?
Good morning, supervisors. Jack Singleton, 260 West Jefferson, 24382. I come to speak against the ordinance as written. I'm not against the health or welfare of the citizens. But there's a tendency, I think, that people want to think a law can solve all problems. And I'll tell you right now that there is a law in place. It's called the nuisance law. And it protects both the individual property owner and the public. And it says that if this item or whatever's on somebody's property, that's their property, personal and otherwise, if it hurts the public, hurts an individual that's a member of the public, that's addressed. You go through circuit court, there's petitions that, agree with a bunch of citizens, so many signatures, and that thing that we're talking about is hurting the public. And so that protection from nasty, identifiable things is already there, sir. And then the way this is written, it's just a theft of property on people that have paid for their land, paid for their property, doesn't matter, and there seems to be an attack on people who choose to say, keep their cars. Obama crushed a lot of cars. And you go out to buy, I just paid $50 and a FedEx for a daggone headlight. And it was in that list of crushed cars that Obama crushed. And it would have been here for $10, and a local citizen would have made that $10. And $300 car, $50 headlight, that's because of what the government people have done to solve problems that they really ought to stay out of. And I'll also address the scrap iron issue on cars that weigh something. The frames under the trailers is actually a resource. And if it's sold next year, 10 years from now, what if it's bringing $20, $25 a hundred instead of 12? Are you going to say, well, you have to get rid of this now, you got to sell it for 12, and then 20 years later, it's worth $24 a hundred? You're stealing the difference. And that's property that sits there and hurts nobody. Like Rusty, you might lose, hundredth of a 1% a year to rust or something like that. And this happened in World War II. And there's no more steel making capacity in the United States. It's just about gone. It's in China. It's in India. That stuff ought to stay, and the individual make their own choice. That's my iron, and do with what they want. I mean, if the county wants to take your iron, maybe make an agreement. We're going to take your iron, write it down, and 20 years later, you fill out a paper, well, I want my other $12 now. That would be fair. Or buy some more right-of-way to beautify it. And then it would be the public's land that's beautiful when the ones in New York drive through that get a glass of wine, which is a wonderful place. So if it's just overbearing. And remember the Japs, they sent our own scrap iron down on us at Pearl Harbor. And that's the situation we're in. And the setbacks in the law are excessive for small property owners. The fines are excessive for, you're going to get a situation where somebody complains on a long-term family, a long-term person, and the $3,000 added as to taxes is going to actually result in an auction, and neighbors could make complaints, burn a building, cause expenses on their neighbor where it would show up at the tax sale.
John, you exhausted your time.
I didn't know it take that long. Boy, I ain't over yet.
Well,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, well, I think you all get the drift from the
We did.
people that have showed up here, and I think the exceptions are bad, and this can be put off. It can also be made to try it for a year and have it automatically expire.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I hadn't signed up, but I'd like to.
You signed up? Make sure you have some proof. All right. You came in after the sign-up time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Name and address.
My name is Jim Leinhardt. I live on 3119 Millers Creek Road, otherwise known as a pretty good pull-back trip. Go up Millers Creek Road, come back down Crockett's Cove, and all the time pick up another pull-back. My wife and my neighbors, we decided that we're kind of tired of all the junk, and we started April 1st of 2011. We ran until 2012, April 1st. This is what we picked up. And I gotta tell you, we didn't count everything, we counted it by weight. 13,000 aluminum cans, most of them beer, 4,800 plastic bottles and glass, 36 tires, 7 pickup trucks full of garbage, I got pictures, 820 pounds of assorted appliances, I'm not even sure what some of these were, including one condom vending machine. That's just the stuff we picked up in 1 year. We stopped since April 1st, and you can go down the road and you can see more accumulated. It's a cultural thing. Maybe this law isn't perfect. Maybe it isn't worded exactly what everybody wants. But it's a cultural thing. We need to shift it. And what the sad thing is us as a county has to come up and possibly pay for some of the cleanup where people aren't doing it themselves. I don't know how many people live with their mothers, but if you don't live with your mother, pick up after yourself. Your mom is going to do it. And I know up on Millers Creek Road, we're pretty tired of people just coming up, treating it like a garbage dump. They have to drive right by the county recycling center to do it. And I haven't even rung up, you ever try and get rid of a load of asbestos shingles that gets dropped in your driveways? They're not fun to try and find a home for. Somebody found a home for it in my daughter's driveway. And this is just rather common occurrence. And if this sends a message to the minority in this county, Most people keep a pretty clean yard. They stack their garbage behind their barn. I like junk, and I got some junk that you guys might be interested in. But I keep it out of sight. It's my junk. When I'm dead and gone, that junk will probably still be there. Somebody will clean it up. My mother's gone, so she ain't gonna do it either. But I heard a comment earlier about, well, I could do what I want on my own land. That's fine. You come into this county, you buy some land, and you start accumulating stuff that's important to you. What does that do to the neighbors? They can't just pick up and move. Maybe they're not well off. How are they gonna sell? It damages everybody's property value to see garbage around. Where it might be one man's treasure, it might be another man's garbage. If this forces people to maybe pick up after themselves, and get rid of stuff that they don't value anymore, or if they do value it, just put it behind the barn, behind the hills. We have a very good case of neighbors' treasure coming down the hill into the creek. And we asked them, well, you know, you shouldn't be throwing motor oil down there in Peak Creek because that ends up with Pulaski's water supply. We all share the same schools, same roads, same stores. And we say, we share the same water, the same beauty and nature. And we do own our land, but we're only here for a short time. This land's going to endure long after we're gone. What are we going to leave our kids and grandkids? That's about all I got to say, and I hope you pass this, and I hope that you also keep it real and that you go on witch hunts, which I don't think you will. A little common sense. It's pretty easy to come up with. And I appreciate all your time and efforts on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other citizens that didn't get in here to have an opportunity to speak who would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, I will close this time. Next, we have a public hearing for the proposed tax rate for the calendar year 2012. Wood County proposes to increase property tax levy, assessment increase, total assessed value of real property, excluding additional assessment due to new construction and improvements to property, exceeds last year's total assessed value of real estate by 6%. Lower rate necessary to offset increased assessment. The tax rate, which would levy the same amount of real estate taxes of last year when multiplied by the new total assessed value of real estate with the exclusions mentioned above, would be 41 cents per $100 of assessed value. The rate will be known as the lower tax rate. Effective rate increase. The County of Wythe proposes to adopt a tax rate of 0.44 cents per hundred of the assessed value. The difference between the lower tax rate and the proposed rate would be 3 cents per $100 or 6%. This difference will be known as the effective tax increase. Individual property taxes, individual property taxes may, however, increase at a percentage greater or less than the above percentage. Proposed total budget increase based on the proposal real estate tax rate and changes in other revenues. The total budget for Wythe County will be less than last year by 24%. A public hearing on the increase will be held at 9:05 Friday, June the 29th in the boardroom of the County Administration Building at 340 South 6th Street, Whitfield, Virginia. At this time, I'll open the public hearing if anyone would like to speak to the tax rate. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Gentlemen, you have a motion considering the tax rate.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we set the tax rate at 44 cents, which was the same per hundred as last year. Right.
motion, Mr. Chairman.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I think we should, the others haven't changed, at all. Where, I can't find, the only one I'm finding is the real estate. I know that I read the others in there. Where is it?
Page one of the agenda, so all of it, if you want there, Mr. Chairman.
All right, let's do it on page 1 of the agenda.
All right, well, Mr. Chairman, I will amend my motion to include, the proposed tax rate on real estate of 44 cents, which is the same as last year, and also include personal property taxes rate $2.08 per hundred, which is the same as last year. Merchants capital, 56 cents per hundred, which is the same as last year. Machine tools and tax for $1.50 per hundred, which is the same as last year.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I renew my second.
Now it's been moved and seconded concerning all 4 rates. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I just for informational purposes, the state of Virginia puts out the Department of Taxation puts out a assessment to sales ratio, and it's usually a couple years in arrears, but the latest was in 2009, based on the 2007 assessments. Witt County was at 89%, roughly, assessment to sales value. So that works out to an effective rate of 38 cents per 100. So voting to keep the tax rate, ideally you'd like that to be 100%, people to pay taxes on what they could sell the property for. We're actually below what the sales, the actual sales in the county were in 2009. So I think that, just wanted to add that to the record.
Thanks. All right, this time then I'll call for the vote, Mr. Hall.
Aye.
And aye. Thank you, gentlemen. Minutes of the previous meeting of June the 12th, 2012. Hear a motion?
I move we accept minutes approved from June 12th, 2012.
Second?
Second.
Now, are there any additions or corrections? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
I'll abstain, Mr. Chairman, I was absent that week.
All right. Record shows 6 for, 1 abstention, no one absent. Payment of the invoices.
I'll make a motion that we pay the invoices.
Second.
Second.
Anyone have any questions concerning any invoice? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Horning? Aye. And And aye. Thank you. Unfinished business. Proposed Witt County ordinance on property maintenance. Gentlemen, we've had a public hearing on this. We've had lots of comments today. Do I have a motion, or would you like to look at it some more? It's up to you.
Based on the comments we've had here today, I think there needs to be a comment that this has been highly publicized. We've had a public hearing. It's not a surprise. It's been on the website. It's been in the newspaper.
No, it wasn't on the website.
Not this week it wasn't, but it has for the public hearing.
With all due respect, sir, I was 2 days.
Ma'am, okay.
Door to door.
You're out of order. You don't have to speak.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I'll make the motion, we vote on it today to adopt the ordinance.
I have a motion. Do I need a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I want to thank everybody for coming out today. We need more of this. We need more public input. from the citizens on all the matters we discussed in this county. And I promised when I was running that I would vote for the majority of the people that come and talk to me, that made complaints to me. I would vote the way, no matter what I feel as far as one way on the ordinance or the other. And I've had a lot of people that's not here that spoke for this ordinance. And during the public hearing, I sat and I listened to 14 people speak for it, and 9 people spoke against it. And many of the same people are here today that spoke that night. And I've had several calls to my house for it, but I have not had but one call that's been against it.
Will you please consider all the names that I went door to door and asked the people what their vote was?
Ma'am, I'm considering everybody that's come and spoke to me.
But they can't come, they got to work. They're the work people.
We've been dealing with this property maintenance ordinance since before
March
March.
the 27th.
Before March. And that's when we had the public hearing on it. And
Well,
I've
the
been
public
talking.
hearing wasn't voted down when the people that was here, and they voted, most everybody here voted.
Sir, I will tell you, we don't vote during public hearing. Citizens, the people up here vote.
Well, I'm not saying
Yeah, but y'all
the vote. Well, I'm saying the people that was here, the most of the
Okay.
people that was here was against it.
Again, I will tell you, this discussion is for supervisors only.
Well, that's why they can't nobody get their opinion.
Okay.
We got 3 minutes, and y'all's 3 minutes is up, so we ought to get it voted on now.
Mr. Chairman, that's all I have to say.
Tony, you have something to say?
I just wanted to say that I had a guy call me last time. I've had a lot of people call me about this. Everybody that's called me has complained about it. They're not for it. But a guy called me last night and he wasn't going to be able to be here today, and I just told him that I would voice his opinion that he was definitely against it. So that's another one that is against it.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say, I've had it on, I have a website, I try to recap every meeting, artiehall.com if you want to.
Hey, I don't do the computer because I can't read and write.
Well, I'm just saying that, you know, the property maintenance has been out there, I've received feedback. My vote will be based on the feedback I've received.
What's your
I would
feedback?
encourage everybody to do that.
What
We'll
was
find
your
out here
feedback?
shortly.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm a little bit torn on this one. Last time, when we had the public hearing, one of the biggest concerns was farm equipment. We have exempted farm equipment. Another concern was that somebody would just, call and try to harass their neighbors. We've taken care of that because the complaint has to be a written complaint, and the person has to sign it. The other, the other thing that we did put in there to try to make it a little bit, better was, from a regular road, not from the interstate, but from a regular road, it's a 500-foot, buffer. Anything beyond 500 feet, doesn't apply to the ordinance. I have had some people call with concerns about cars, and that seems to be the biggest concern that people have called me about, because they may have some vehicles and for whatever reason, whether they want to fix them up in the future, whether they're using them for parts or whatever, that seems to be the biggest thing. I don't think that I've had anybody call and say that they're in favor of anybody collecting, trash, on the property. But the big thing that I have had people talk about are the cars. And that one, the part about, I don't know how to, publicize things better than, certainly better than we do. And we do have, opportunities for public hearing. And I know that there was, an issue about having every meeting at night. But in Wood County, we have a lot of people who do work night shifts too, and by having one day meeting and one night meeting, it allows people regardless of the time, to come in, at citizens' time. But again, the one that I'm bothered probably the most by, are the cars.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I've had several calls on this matter, and I haven't had the first one call me yet and say I'm for it. So I'm gonna vote that way. I'm not for it.
Hey! You might get elected again.
Any other discussion? Are we ready to vote? Mr. Hall?
Nay.
Gary?
No.
Yay.
No.
No. Yay. The noes win 4-3. We will now move to the Witt County subdivision ordinance.
I don't know, hear no more shit. This ordinance and the different meetings, I'm sure, for the people of Witt County, hey, there'll be more public like in Whitfield paper, y'all put in the paper, and, just like, on your website, find the information about this going on. We not had a
I think our local paper works for us real well as far as putting.
We're completing our finances. Please, we can sit down. I think I was asking for a public hearing.
Yes, ma'am, I tell you what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a 2-minute recess, yes,